Welcome to a champion preview of ZAAHEN, the newest champion that's going to be released this November, I believe. In about 2 weeks, Riot has given us a little bit of an early access to kind of a sneak peek to ZAAHEN. So we're going to go over kind of ZAAHEN's ability and, basically what the champion is. He is a Darkin, so that's one thing that we do know. And we do have an FAQ and some media stuff that we were provided so that we can kind of react to it. And this is my first time ever seeing this champion. Let's jump right in and let's see how it is as well. All right, starting off here, we have Nefuri versus ZAAHEN. Yes, it is pronounced ZAAHEN. We do have confirmation by Riot that it is ZAAHEN. All right, let's see here. Nefuri presses W, presses ulti. ZAAHEN has like a spear. Has like a Xin Zhao knockup. An ulti. Okay, interesting. That looked like an execute almost. Okay, he went up into the sky kind of like, okay, it kind of looks like a mix of Galio and Xin Zhao. And maybe even Kane Q? It looked kind of like a Kane Q. Not gonna lie. Alright, so this looks like a 1v3 that they're doing. He starts off with his ulti. Goes in. He has like a rage meter at the bottom. I'm assuming that's his reset. Has a spear. Has like a Kane Q as well. Has a res. He's healing up to like 75% HP. It looks like Xin Zhao's spear and also his knockup. So he has some sort of like dash, empowered autos, a spear, skill shot. Okay. Kind of looking at it, I think overall the champion looks very, very busted. It just looks like kind of like a culmination of like all these champions. It looked like there was like snippets of Kane. There looked like there was snippets of Xin Zhao with his spear, knockup. What else do we have? We had like a Galio ulti, like almost. It was like a rage meter with Galio ulti, and he had a resurrect. So definitely gonna be a bruiser champion. They did say, Riot did say he is intended to be played top lane, so we will be seeing him in top lane. But they said they will be supporting him as jungle as well, but keeping top lane as the primary role. We do have an FAQ from Riot. Right here it says, how would you describe ZAAHEN's gameplay style? Any notable difference or specific interactions to call out? ZAAHEN has a rampaging combat gameplay style. The longer that ZAAHEN is able to fight, he builds up power. So that's the rage meter that we did see. Until eventually gaining a large spike that lets him take down his opponents or revive from death. One of the biggest aspects to pay attention to, both playing as and against ZAAHEN, is that his abilities can stack his passive multiple times if he hits several champions. A ZAAHEN who multi-hits his W, E, or R is going to get his full passive much quicker than one hitting only one enemy. So, as you saw, the meter at the bottom is his passive. I think there was about 10 bars. So the more champions that you hit with the abilities, the faster you are going to be able to stack it. I don't know if there's going to be like, I don't know what the numbers look like. We do have the champion kit abilities, but we won't know what the numbers look like to know if he's actually broken or not. But I will take a look at the kit in just a little bit as well. Any tips for playing as ZAAHEN? Pay attention to where your passive is at when making decisions around being aggressive or not. I've seen ZAAHEN players run away too early when they could have just kept fighting, gotten full passive, and also seen them commit too hard when they couldn't build the passive and then die. So this is just going to be limit testing champion, just like any kind of bruiser top lane. You want to min-max your trades. ZAAHEN is definitely going to be a champion. So if you're on the opposite side, if you're playing against ZAAHEN, I'm assuming you're going to be wanting to look kind of like Mega Gnar passive. If you're turning into Mega Gnar, you probably don't want to fight a team fight. Same thing with ZAAHEN. I would say that's going to be the biggest similarity that I see here. We don't know if the numbers are going to give him HP, if it's going to give him extra damage. I'm assuming extra damage, but we'll see in a little bit. So let's take a look at his abilities, actually. So we're going to take a look at his abilities. This is ZAAHEN, the Unsundered Awakens. Oh, wait, sorry. The Unsundered awakens in patch 25.23. Ascended Darken, I am the blade between. A fallen god wielding both divine and profane power, ZAAHEN hunts his fellow Darken while defying the corruption that threatens to consume him. Once willingly sealed within his glaive to stave off madness, he now walks free, noble in heart and vicious in purpose. ZAAHEN fights an eternal war within, but so long as he endures, he will rise above all who seek to bring Runeterra to ruin. Huh. Okay, so he seems... Huh, that's interesting. So he's like a Darken, but he's righteous. So he has like this internal battle. Bro's just an edgy e-boy, no? That's anyways. Moving on to the abilities, we have passive, Cultivation of War. So this is the red bar that we see under his HP bar. This is his passive. ZAAHEN's attacks and abilities against enemy champions grant him stacks of determination, gaining bonus attack damage per stack when filled with determination. ZAAHEN gains increased attack damage and can revive. So it's called determination. When you gain stacks of determination, you gain bonus attack damage per stack. It gives you bonus attack damage and res. All right, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Nothing more to it than that. We'll have to see the numbers on how much he gains. This champion looks like it'll benefit a lot from having either Phase Rush or Conqueror. Conqueror, you're probably just going to stat check people, so they're really going to have to balance this out with numbers, for sure. Let's look at Q. The Darkened Glaive. Is it Glaive? I think it's Glaive. Anyways, it looks like there's two parts to it. ZAAHEN slashes twice on his next attack, dealing bonus damage and healing himself. ZAAHEN can recast this ability to have his next attack deal bonus damage and knock up his target. So this is going to be very similar to Xin Zhao. I did believe that they did say they wanted to kind of have inspiration, or they did have inspiration from Xin Zhao to for ZAAHEN. All right, so he's going to slash twice on his next attack, dealing bonus damage, and then the second part is a recast where you deal bonus damage and knock up the target. So I'm assuming you can also proc this onto a minion, kind of like Xin Zhao does, where you can stack up 2 auto attacks, and then the third one you can flash auto. With ZAAHEN, you could probably just proc it once on a minion, get healing or bonus damage, kill the minion, and then flash with the second cast. W, Dreaded Return. ZAAHEN stabs in a direction, damaging enemies and pulling them towards him. Oh, okay, so that's the spear that we did see. It's a spear that, it's a skill shot, it damages them and pulls them towards him. I don't know if it's going to be like similar to set W or set E, where it pulls all the targets, or if it's just going to be like Pike Q, where it pulls only one target. We'll have to see. I couldn't really tell when he was doing the 1v3 in the fight earlier, but we'll test it out once the actual gameplay is released. E, Ariat Rush. ZAAHEN dashes to a location and slices around himself. So this is what we saw that looked like Kane Q. It is a giant AoE, so it's going to be much larger than Kane Q. Looks pretty simple to me. It's just going to be a movement ability with damage involved as well. All right. Grim Deliverance. This is the thing that we saw that was Galio ulti. ZAAHEN rises and then stabs downwards, damaging enemies and healing for a portion of the damage dealt. So it's going to be a quick cast, I'm sure. You kind of just spawn on top of a location. After a short second, you will damage all the champions within that area. You'll heal. So it seems like there is going to be a lot of healing involved within his kit. I don't know if I like the kit or not. It seems very... I know Riot is trying to kind of move a little bit more. They're trying to move a little bit more towards a simplified version of champion so that, you know, it's not super overwhelming reading 3 paragraphs within one champion. Aphelios. But I do like the simplicity. I think it makes it a lot easier for newer players to kind of come in, try the champion out, and it just makes it so much easier to get into. This is a very nice champion to kind of, I feel like, just kind of get into the game. You can kind of just press your abilities. Maybe even kind of similar to button mashing, right? If you run Conquer, a lot of healing, you could probably get away with button mashing. But the champion looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. It kind of reminds me of old Aatrox. I don't know if a lot of people here are familiar with that. Old Aatrox used to have a heal on his or a resurrect on his passive as well when you filled up his blood well, and yeah, that was a whole thing. That's a whole thing of the past, but it kind of seems like a resurrected version of old Aatrox mixed in with a couple of different champions within League of Legends now. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, soon we're going to get some gameplay on the PvE, and I will get you guys some gameplay in a video as well of me playing. All right, so I'll see you guys next time. Okay.